Okay, I'm gonna start by doing problem 1. Write the requested portions of a class called employee. I'm gonna solve it in Notepad and then move it over to NetBeans to make sure that it works. So, okay, we're writing the requested portions of a class called employee. We need to write the class header, any instance fields needed. Class header, class employee. That's a class header. Boom, 7 points right there. This question has 3 parts, so if you get the class header right, and the fields, you're gonna get 7 points. So let's look at the fields. We'll have a name, string name. Then we're gonna have a social security number, int SSN. Then we're going to have position, string position, and double wage. 7 points right there for doing that in that question, because it's a 3-part question, and clearly if you do 1 part you get a third of the points. I round up 7 points. Part B, write a method that is passed the int value of the number of hours worked for the week as a parameter and returns the pay for the employee, including overtime, which is 1.5, blah 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 blah. So you write a method that's passed the int value of the number of hours worked. Okay, so we're here, public get pay, get, let's call it gross pay, int hours. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and code here. If hours less than 40. Oh, whoops, no return type right here. So this one's gonna return what? We're returning an amount of payment. So, clearly this is gonna be a double. We wouldn't want to return, dollars only. People get really sensitive when you try to round their cents off. And Java does truncate. So even if if your pay is $499.99, it'll truncate the 99 cents, and somebody's gonna get butthurt for sure about that. So if ours is less than 40, what do? Actually, let's do this. If ours is greater than 40, return hours minus 40, so the overtime times 1.5 times wage, which is a field in the class, so we know that, plus their base pay. Wage times hours times 40, 40. Okay, so, and that's if ours is greater than 40. Otherwise, if ours is less than 0, what do? Return 0. I mean, we just assume that this guy, I don't know, we're not gonna do error handling right now, so we just cover that base, and that's fine. And then finally, if ours, oh no, actually, we've covered the case where it's greater than 40, we cover the case where it's less than 0, so the only case that's left is between, this one should be, actually that's fine. So the only case that's left is 0 inclusive up to 40 inclusive. So, that's our default case. If this statement gets executed, the function returns and nothing else further happens. None of the stuff that's underneath the return statement happens. If this, works, then the function returns 0 and nothing else happens. It gets out of the way. So the only thing that's left is just say return wage times hours. We know that at this point in the method, we know that quite simply put, hours is between 0 and 40 inclusive, so we just return wage times hours. And that is another 7 points for this question. And let's see what else is asked of us. Write a raise method that is passed an increase or decrease in hourly wages and updates the employee's hourly wages appropriately. The amount passed is strictly the amount of increase or decrease, not a new hourly wage. If the amount of increase or decrease is too much, more than what the employee currently makes, do not adjust the hourly wage, but instead output a warning message. Alright. So what do we do here? Public void give raise. and it takes a double raise. Okay, fair enough, because I said so. Okay. Okay. So if raise is greater than what the guy already makes, greater than wage, we want actually a compound statement here. So we do system.out.println you're effing up as a manager. You know, these days you underpay and overwork. You don't overpay anybody. You certainly don't pay fairly. So you're effing up as a manager, and return, and we just return. To make that return again, you know, just makes the function terminate. If we have since this function is of a void return type, we can't return 0, we can't return true, we can't return false. We have to just return nothing because it is of a void return type. And you know, if race is not greater than wage, all we gotta do now is just wage plus equals race. Or, you know, to write it in more dummy terms, let's just write wage equals wage plus race. And please note that this also covers negative cases. So if we give a negative race, somebody, you know, spat in a customer's face, but it turns out that he's the son of the president of the company, you can't fire him. You just give him a negative raise, and you call this method, and it's gonna lower his pay. You call this method, and you pass it a negative parameter. So in your program, it would look like something like, I don't know, jackass employee dot give raise negative 4.0, and there you go. Alright, so that's the solution to problem 1. We're done. Full credit for that, and I'm just gonna run it on NetBeans now. NetBeans, and we're gonna control N, new class, and it's going to be called employee, isn't it, buddy? Yes. And we just paste everything that we had. Yeah, I made a couple of errors. I wouldn't definitely not dock you points for typos like this. Class is in lowercase, and ooh, wow, that was pretty good. One error and everything compiles now. Okay, so that's that for problem 1.